Hi, Tanvi. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi.
So, I wanted to talk about our time together and just get a little bit of feedback from you so that we can help other people who are considering working with me in the future. Before you started working with me doing one on one personal training, what were you doing before?
I was working my butt off, but had gotten out of the routine of working out on the floor and lifting heavy.
Hmm.
I was taking a lot of classes, thinking that I was getting my strength training from there and that that was enough.
Got
But
it.
I hit a plateau. I didn't even hit a plateau. It just wasn't working for my body, especially at that time. And it was something that had been working but wasn't working anymore.
Okay. So
Um,
you were feeling frustrated. Okay. Um, what did we do together when we were partnered that was so valuable to you?
Everything. um, I think I think what was the most valuable out of working with you was getting my confidence back in navigating the floor
Awesome.
and lifting weights and building strength.
Hmm.
Um, I had I used to do that many years ago, but got out of the habit of navigating the floor and started getting really intimidated by it. And the time that I spent with you and just relearning the machines and the moves and the weights and how to navigate my way around the gym and build the right routines and what muscles to focus on is what really gave me the confidence to be able to go back in there and do it.
Amazing. You had a personal trainer years prior, before we met, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
I
was like
remember you.
15 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you doing things now?
I'm keeping up with what I've learned.
I love that.
Yeah. It's it's like if I don't get in there and work out, with my strength training on the floor like 3 times a week, I'm like that's not good. I feel really good when I can do that.
Tell me what feels good.
Um I think it's one knowing that I have a plan going in there. So I'll use an app or whatever it is to come up with my plan. But I know enough that if I can't do whatever my app is telling me to, whatever the routine is that I have planned, like there's another exercise I can do. There's an alternate.
Yes.
Um, and then the form. I always remember form that you would check me on. And
Awesome.
yeah.
But you had great form though. I will say I got very lucky with you because you already had such a solid foundation. And your yoga background really lent itself to being able to kind of place you in the right position so you could feel the full range of motion. So I can't take full credit for that. But so were you nervous about the investment?
um, yes. I mean, money doesn't grow on trees. So I
Hmm.
was definitely nervous about the investment. Um, and I made the investment. I think the harder part was sticking out the investment. As like even financial things change, you know, it is a commitment to yourself and an investment in yourself
Hmm.
and not just the physicality of it, but the mental part of it. And it's all related. And being able to show up once a week, twice a week, sometimes, um, and put and like have somebody lead you and just throw everything else out the door to focus on yourself is just invaluable, right? There's no money
Awesome.
you can put to that.
Do you
and
feel
there's no
like because
money.
you invested it like you had skin in the game, you had to show up, you had to stick to the commitment?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, showing up, paying for it, you have to show up.
Yeah, totally.
Um, but it's also your own motivation to having
Mhm.
someone there that you have accountability to and
Mhm.
that you want to show up for yourself, but also because you're making an investment in someone as well.
This is not one of the questions I said I was gonna ask you, before we started recording, but I think it's important and it's valuable for my, ideal audience, and that is, juggling motherhood and entrepreneurship and also taking care of yourself. Do you feel like from the before we started working, the middle of the process to now that there's been any sort of shift or change in how you do all of those things?
Yeah, I mean, I have to take care of me first. And it's always a hard thing to say and to do.
Mhm.
I know that and I think coming into prior to training with you, I was doing my workouts, but again, it was stuff that I would let slip. And I
Mhm.
think in training with somebody and building the accountability, it like becomes a muscle, right? And it becomes something that you realize you need. And so it's my fuel. Like I need that in order to be better at everything else I'm doing, especially being a mom.
Mhm. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And my last question before we wrap this up, are you glad that you made that investment into my program and into yourself?
Absolutely. I
Awesome.
would do it all over again. And if I could, I would still.
Yeah, well, things can change. You never know.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop recording.